Sakto, pero
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Dead Dad, a horror podcast.
Brought to you by Big Baby Studios.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Dead Air, a horror podcast. My name is Chris Costello and I'm one of your hosts. On this podcast, I like to call myself the horror fanatic for marketing purposes. And I'm joined by my two other co-hosts. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Aaron. But before I talk about myself, I really just like how Chris intros, because every time before his intro, you'll hear him go, 1, 2, 3. All right.
Yeah, he psychs himself up.
I'm psyching myself up, guys. Come on.
Okay, so my name is Aaron, and for the purpose of this podcast, I am the horror fan. But I did not go to film school like these two co-hosts of mine. So for those listening that aren't, not well-versed in film and you don't know directors the way they do, I'm here to play dummy so that I have them explain everything for us. So that's me, and this is our other co-host.
Hello, I'm Miguel. First of all, Aaron massively undersells herself every time.
Massively.
Annoying. And I'm Miguel. I also love movies like Chris. Horror isn't my preferred genre, but I've been having fun doing this podcast and watching horror movies in daytime.
Yeah. we love your character arc though, Big. We love it. We love it. You start to love horror.
I don't want to watch this movie, guys. I watch it. It's all right. I didn't get scared. Yeah.
To actively seeking out movies by yourself.
Yeah. That's
Surprise.
I'm down pala for zombie movies, which is, not a bad thing, not a hard thing to appreciate. And I'm also down for, what's that one that didn't scare me so much but affected everybody? Like I don't
Misery?
know.
Misery.
Yeah, Misery wasn't so...
Holy cow.
Yeah, I was okay with it. And then, what was that other one where...
okay with it,
come
on, Big. You did not say you were
didn't
okay
like
with it. Don't lie.
Don't lie.
Don't lie.
I
You're lying
appreciated it.
twice.
I appreciated it in a... Ay, nako. Okay, fine. Let's introduce our guest.
What a long, drawn out introduction that led to nothing, Miguel. But anyway, so this is the part where we introduce our guest, and this is a pretty cool one because number one, you might recognize his voice from his very popular podcast, Buhay Basket, or you might recognize his face from the very popular film Saving Sally. Which
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So please welcome Enzoitgoes to the podcast.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us, Enzo.
No, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for picking a movie I've never seen.
Same.
Sorry about
I haven't
that,
seen this yet. And
Sam Raimi.
And I almost
I
watched
think
it
of the three of us.
The 2018 one.
Yeah. Almost.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wait a minute, this looks new. Why will they remake a new... I know these actors. Why are they gonna remake this pa? Whoops, mali. I was 20 minutes in na. Anyway.
Well, what do you call this? I screwed up my introduction for Enzo because aside from that, I mean, like, let's not forget that he's an incredible filmmaker, and this will lead into our discussion later. Is that it's really cool that he chose this film. We'll get to that later because it's by a very crafty first-time filmmaker.
Yeah.
Well, not first time, but very young filmmaker, very hungry, who kind of just uses anything at his disposal to make his film.
At that
and
time,
I think,
no?
at the time.
Yeah,
and I think Enzo can really relate to this, being in the scene, starting out really young, because he's also a filmmaker, but he also did everything the same way, trying to, you don't have a dolly, you use a wheelchair, all that shit. So that's why, I think you can totally relate to this. But yeah, so that should have been part of my introduction. So yeah,
It's awesome because we never talked about the wheelchair, but he just knew, like Chris knew that I at one point did that because like we all did that at one point, right?
We all did that. Yep.
Wheelchair dolly.
Yeah. So anyway, so thank you again, dude, for coming on. I've been trying to get Enzo on literally since the very beginning of this podcast. He's very, very hard to track down, this guy.
But
apparently he's moving into where I live, and now we're neighbors. I didn't know. That's why he's been busy.
Yeah, exactly.
He moved during the pandemic. Who moves homes during the pandemic?
But when I invited him the first time, he was very clear about what he wanted. Okay. That's why it's pretty cool. He was like set from the beginning, so that's why I'm really excited for this discussion. Yeah, but before we get to that, dude, we usually start off by asking our guests, what was your horror origin story? So what that means is basically, how did you encounter horror in any shape or form?
Yeah. Okay. So
tell us about it. Yeah.
So I was like Miguel. I really did not like horror. I grew up in a Christian home, like hardcore Christian. I went to a Christian school, the type where, they'd burn Metallica CDs and, stuff like that. We couldn't get close to girls because there had to be space for the Holy Spirit. And so I'm not making fun of the school or anything, but, I'm just trying to paint a picture for you guys, like what type of environment I grew up in. So I saw horror movies as like, that's you're inviting the devil into your home if you watch those movies and whatever. So, so I was like really, really like horrified. And then one sleepover with some high school buddies, like, hey, you guys want to watch a horror film? And then that was it. And I freaked out, man. Like I remember, like I ran out of the room. I was like, you guys are inviting the devil. Like, I was, but then I remember how much fun I had. Like my heart was racing. It's like I was on a roller coaster. So I was like, man, so after that, I started looking for it. And then, so that's how it all started. I remember
it was like,
how old were you?
I was probably like 12 na, super late na. Yeah. So, and I remember
it was something like
super late. Still, exactly.
Dude. Yeah. And I remember like his house was in the middle of like, those villages with just like 2 houses and then there's nothing. So it was like I could. So I was like, I ran outside and that made it worse. Holy shit! There's no one here. Yeah. So and there was one of those like I don't even remember. Like sometimes they call back or something like that. Like it wasn't. Like I watched it again recently and I was like, this freaked me out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's how it started.
Yeah, that's I absolutely can relate to that. I mean, I saw so many horror films as a kid, and I was like, oh god, that traumatized me so much. And I watched it again, like Poltergeist. I watched that recently. I was like, wow, this is actually really funny.
Yeah, it's fun.
I watched
not
it
scary
again,
at all, but
the old It, and only one scene freaked me out, but everything else, I was like, he's a spider? What the hell
ridiculous.
is this? Yeah. What is
Tim Curry pa eh, diba? Like how can you be scared of the dude from Home Alone? In Home Alone 2.
And Rocky Horror, diba? Huh?
Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah.
So
I want to watch The Shining again and see if it's still.
I haven't seen that in a while.
The Shining.
I have not seen it in a while. In a while. But yeah. And so, what movie did you choose for us today?
And why did you choose it?
So, like Chris said, when he invited me to join the podcast, I said, "Yeah, we got to do a Sam Raimi film. Like any Sam Raimi picture. Like I love everything that he's done. Like even the Spider-Man series that he's done. And
absolutely.
So, like we were talking, and we just said, yeah, let's do Evil Dead because it's like Chris mentioned, his first film. Very DIY, so there's that aspect to it. So yeah, Evil Dead.
Look at his shirt, dressed for the occasion.
And you know what's funny? When I watched it with my roommate, and my roommate goes, "Oh, isn't this Sam Raimi?" Then I go, "Can't be. Sam Raimi can't be that old." Because I just looked at Bruce. What's his name? Bruce Campbell. I was like, Bruce Campbell is so old. Sam Raimi can't be that old. Biglang Sam Raimi. Oh, shit. It is him.
Yeah, they were college buddies.
Buds. Yeah.
On IMDb, it said like Raimi was like 20, or he just turned 20
when he made this. Yeah, he was 20 years old.
Bata.
Yeah, you see it. You galing.
You look at the pictures. He looks like JK, like a young JK. So pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
So you can really tell that it was a really young filmmaker, but also you can tell that like you could also argue that he wasn't, like he was wiser beyond his years. Like
Yeah.
he already developed such a style immediately.
Absolutely.
I think it's pretty cool because this is our second Sam Raimi film that we're talking about.
Oh man,
And
you
'cause
guys
we
did
saw
Drag Me to Hell, no?
we did Drag Me to Hell.
Galing mo.
And
No, yeah, I listened to that episode.
Cool.
and Aaron, that was her first Sam Raimi, right? Am I right? Oh no, technically because you did see
I've seen
Army
it.
of Darkness.
Yeah. And I've seen Spider-Man.
But you were asking. Oh, that's true. But you were asking about like what is Sam Raimi's style?
Yeah.
And then we're all like, oh yeah, he's always like in your face, like the weird angles, the Dutch angles,
Yun,
everything's moving.
Yeah.
And then you can really see all of that here, no?
Grabe.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm not familiar with Sam Raimi aside from basta late din yung exposure to Sam Raimi, which is basically Spider-Man. And I knew he was a horror film guy. And then when we saw Drag Me to Hell, that's when it's parang shit, this guy is good with it. Parang very well pulido. So for me, seeing his very first movie was very interesting. Parang going back and jumping back into 1981 to see Evil Dead was very interesting. Kasi parang you could see the beginnings of this guy wanting to try so many things just to be able to squeeze out fear. Yeah.
Actually,
It's so dynamic for a
so much was happening.
Super low
Walang
budget
tripod.
film.
Wala silang tripod.
Walang tripod.
And I don't think there was a dolly either because there was this one
Wala.
shot where he was
None.
pulling
No dolly.
and you could see the camera was kind of going like,
No dolly.
I was like, is the cameraman crawling? Because it looked like that.
So before we summarize, parang I even went on IMDb and parang si Bruce Campbell pala really played a big role even producing this movie.
Producer.
Like,
Producer.
he's credited as producer. Like I think
Creatives.
he put out a bit of money also to help make it get done. And then, you remember the opening scene, it's over water. Diba? I messaged our group, tama ba pinapanood ko, they're like over water? And that was parang, Raimi was on a boat and then Bruce Campbell was the one pushing the boat. Parang ganun pala ka hands-on yung style nila. At they were really, and the cabin was where the crew lived also. Like, you know, that's where they were. It was a very DIY thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Galing.
Actually, one thing, my favorite thing is like, remember all those like POV shots where it's the POV of the spirit
that
enters? How they did it was they had a plank of wood, 2x4.
And then it was
put
just
the camera in the middle.
Attached on the wood. Yeah.
And then Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi or whoever would just run on either side and then just move it.
Yeah.
That's incredible, dude. Like you can really feel the how the passion of everyone involved, like to do that.
So many crew members in this movie got injured now.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, because they were literally running around the woods, shooting each other. It was a real chainsaw at one point.
What?
And then parang,
Real shotgun too.
Yeah, and then it was difficult because they were like in the woods of Tennessee. And like the nearest hospital was like, was a bit far. So talagang labor of love and passion.
Absolutely. Yeah, to jump off that point, it was just you can tell
and
it was just
we're gonna get to that. Like, we have a lot of parts of that later. But Miguel, would you like to summarize the film for us?
Enzo, they asked me to summarize the film because sometimes they feel I don't watch the movies they make us watch. So this is their way of testing me. So this movie, Evil Dead, is about a barkada of 5, 2 guys and 3 girls. Some of them are siblings, but a lot of them are couples. And they literally go to a cabin in the woods. Guys, ngayon ko lang na-realize na ito pala yung original Cabin in the Woods. I love Cabin in the Woods, the movie. And so that it's a big homage pala to this film, which I enjoyed. So so they're in this creepy cabin in the woods and parang they kind of stumble upon some sort of artifacts from
in the basement.
If it's from Sumeria or Egypt. So some very early civilization. And then they play a recording of the architect, the archaeologist who discovers it. And there's this incantation. And this incantation kind of releases a spirit or whatever. And it this spirit oppresses them inside this cabin. It attacks them, it haunts them, it possesses some of them to the point na one of the women gets raped by vegetation. It's so weird. And then so it's what is now a trope began in this movie where parang they're locked in this cabin, they have no place to go, they can't escape, and parang they're being attacked by the supernatural stuff from all around. eventually it's only Bruce Campbell's character Ash who survives, or
does he?
survives.
Yeah.
Or does he? What?
And
So
many things.
Okay, sorry.
So many things happen. Reanimated corpses, like disemboweling. I think one of the ways to defeat the demon possessing a person is to dismember the person. So there's a lot of, so there's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of gore. I think that's a trademark of the director, the gore. And the gore here was super low tech. Ang galing.
Yeah, dude.
Galing how they made it.
Super low tech. Everything was low tech.
Thank you for that, Miguel.
So that's my summary. I watched it, guys.
I enjoyed it a lot. Enzo, what do you think of Miguel's summary back there? Does it work for you?
Yeah.
Simple plot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going back to because I love this movie so much. I love everything Sam Raimi, but the Evil Dead trilogy is really dear to me. I love this so much, but for me, what stands out for me is really the filmmaking. Aside from the campy acting and Bruce Campbell being incredible, for me it's really the filmmaking. It's because it really. What I love is looking at because sometimes we do a little research before going on. This was made for $35,000.
Holy cow!
And decades later, he made Spider-Man for $350 million.
Holy moly!
So can you just imagine? Like he went from that to that just based on literally it's just based on his passion.
That's crazy.
Because he was obviously so passionate about filmmaking, and that's why I love. Also, why I love the fact that you chose this film, Enzo, is because we could talk about that. And you being a filmmaker too. What do you think of that whole journey?
See, Miguel mentioned it earlier. He said that it was a labor of love, no? And you can tell that it's just a love letter to horror in general. Like even with the references when they were in the basement, there was The Hills Have Eyes, the poster, and then the references to George Romero with the way with some of the deaths and all of that. And then parang they didn't let the budget stop them. And I was gonna say earlier, they didn't even have a dedicated cinematographer or director of photography. Like they were just like, oh sige, ako na mag-iilaw nito. Ako na bahala, diba? So it's just amazing to read the stories and to see where Sam Raimi is now. I mean, he's slated to do like a Marvel picture now, right?
Yeah,
like a new Marvel picture, right? So
Doctor Strange.
All right, cool.
Pretty crazy. So parang you read lots of stories about filmmakers that want they're passionate about film and whatever. Then here's Sam Raimi who literally spilled his blood and sweat and tears into this film, and now he's a huge filmmaker. So it's awesome. It's awesome.
Was Evil Dead? Was this your first introduction to Sam Raimi?
No, so like Aaron, I started with Army of. No, was that you,
Same.
Chris? Yeah, Army of Darkness.
Yep.
So
Army of Darkness.
So I remember it showed on Sky Cable at one point, and then
Wow.
Yeah. So that was one of the things, and obviously it was heavily edited, lots of stuff taken out. Yeah, that's the first time I saw a Sam Raimi picture.
Yeah. Same. I think I might have seen the same copy.
Yeah, man. For sure.
Because I do remember it being heavily edited too. Because
Yeah.
I did see the full film years after I had seen that one. I was like, oh wait, there was a lot more.
Holy cow, where'd that come from? Yeah. Yeah, so Army of Darkness.
When I watched that, it was my mom who forced me to watch it. My mom was like, watch this.
Why?
Why?
I don't know whether I didn't watch this. It's nice. It's nice. Okay naman. I enjoyed.
It's nice. That's the first time anyone has ever described Army of Darkness as nice.
It's nice.
It's nice.
Nice.
Yes. And then after Army of Darkness, I didn't even go to Evil Dead yet. It was Darkman afterwards.
Darkman.
Yeah. So
Liam Neeson.
Yeah. So and then I checked out the other Evil Dead 2. So yeah.
What's cool about that is like what I find so funny is the fact that the tone of the Evil Dead series really shifted from horror to comedy.
Yeah, mismo.
Talaga? Galing.
Yeah, dude. The third one is all comedy.
Yeah, dude.
It's fantasy and comedy.
One-liners, diba?
I'm gonna watch that.
You could
The second
tell
movie
naman
is
that
fun.
it was
Yeah,
gonna go
The sec-
there.
Yeah.
Parang from the first movie, I was like,
Yeah,
kaya
yes.
pala it became comedy. Because by the middle of it, you were like, oh my God, this is so funny already.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's the thing though. Like how the context matters, diba? Like I mean, back in like now we watch it and it's like campy as fuck, right?
Yes.
Like holy shit! Like
But back then,
there's
probably.
oats coming out of the arms. There's milk coming out. Like you can tell, like, hey, that's not. They're not even trying to. Like,
Yeah.
But at the time, that was like the one was banned in so many countries. It was
Banned in Germany. They heavily
Finland.
edited it.
Yeah, dude. So like, yeah, like especially that scene in the forest, diba? Of course, diba?
The tree rape.
The tree scene. So
That was shocking. Like I saw it again like yesterday. And I was like, whoa.
I was
Yep.
shocked.
That was really shocking.
Yeah, I was shocked.
yeah,
Yeah.
it really stood out from the rest of the horror, diba? Parang kasi yun, talagang visceral, like real horror. Everything else is like, oh, that's corn syrup, and
Yeah. Yeah. What do you guys think of that though? Like, I mean, viewing this in the lens of someone who has in 2021, because there are some parts that are medyo unwoke watching it again.
super.
Like there is so much like violence on women on this. Like watching it again, like
Dude,
Yeah.
obviously they're all like possessed women, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
man, it's just
No, but-
it's just like slapping women, cutting their heads
No,
off.
like, but that's the thing though. Even if you watch earlier parts of the film, even the way Scott, like the jock,
Yeah.
dude, talks to his girlfriend,
Yeah.
I'm gonna slap your face. Or,
Talking to her.
I'm gonna.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Whoa.
Exactly.
Hold
So
on now.
medyo, he even had a line na, "Para you take care of it. She's your girlfriend." Yung
Yeah,
very,
yeah.
very
Like,
dismissive and demeaning of women.
Super
tell your
dismissive.
girlfriend
Like,
to shut up.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
Medyo wild. Yeah.
what do you think of that, Aaron?
Still,
Being a
You know,
woman.
I'll be honest.
I mean, sorry.
I didn't really notice it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. Because I'm really curious, lang.
I didn't really. I guess I didn't. I don't know. I didn't get affected by that at all watching it because also it was from the start. Parang you could tell it was so old. Like when I told you when we watched Halloween, diba? The way they talk is very dated. So for me, it didn't really bother me.
Yeah.
Like kulang na lang they'd go,
Yeah.
holy kamoli. Parang it was that kind of era. So
Yeah.
I said that earlier non-ironically, so I feel old.
But yeah, I mean, it
I
did
love
really affect me. But I do love the whole treatment of it because for me,
Mhm.
if someone made a movie like that now, I would look down on it. I'd be like, oh, baduy. But
For
it
sure,
was
yeah.
so campy that I was like, this is so stupid. I love it. Like his leg gets mangled and he falls down the stairs, but he's fine later. He's just like, oh, okay, I have a gun. I was just like, oh, what happened to your leg? So wala lang. I really enjoyed it. It's ridiculous. That's why I like it.
So fun. Yep.
It's so
Exactly.
ridiculous.
That's
Exactly.
why
And I
this
think-
whole
I think-
unwoke
I think the
thing,
fact
it was part of the ridiculousness for me.
Yes,
So, parang
Sure.
okay lang.
I get it.
Yeah.
Because I think reading up on it, it looks like the shift in tone wasn't. I mean, it was a deliberate choice. No, like
Mhm.
he
Yeah.
really meant to make this one scary.
Right.
And
Right.
I mean, honestly, it is scary.
It
At
is.
some points, it's really ridiculous. But like,
No doubt. Yeah.
it can be really scary at times. And I'm sure, like at the when it came out, it must have been kind of terrifying. Like even the gore alone must have been really off-putting. No.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then, but like, I guess maybe like midway he discovered that he did have a love for comedy, like, and so did Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, Bruce Camp.
Bruce Campbell himself
Dude.
is hilarious.
So funny.
No
So-
doubt. No doubt. Yeah.
I mean, the sequel, Evil Dead 2, which is basically it's weird. It's like a sequel / remake. I don't know,
Yeah,
weird.
yeah.
but like there's like a extended Three Stooges like
Yeah, dude,
sequence.
the evil Ash.
Yeah, exactly. And then
Yeah.
you're like, okay, this is so. Then you watching that. I think watching Evil Dead 2, then you really understand Sam Raimi as a director.
Mhm,
You're like,
mhm.
this is what he likes.
Yeah.
Parang ganun. And then you can see the traces of it here in the first one. But after Evil Dead 2, then he goes just bonkers. Then you're like, okay, every single film is a Sam Raimi film. That's why everything's so in your face. Like when we talked about Drag Me to Hell, and
dude.
how it was so extra.
So fun.
You
bro.
know, everything was so extra. Like there were so many projectile vomit scenes in your face.
We
Like
finally had a budget for
blood
proper
gushing.
projectile vomit.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's so graphic.
I
Even
get it.
the way that the leg got mangled. I was like, all right, enough. All right. Okay, too much. So like, come on. Everything was just so intense. But I guess that's his style. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning Sam Raimi style.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
You know what I love about it is like so they get possessed, right?
Mhm.
And then they start to attack you. And they're like, they don't even think about like trying to cure you somehow. They're just like, nah, just fucking kill my girlfriend. I will behead my girlfriend. I will chop off her limbs.
But there was just that one part where he hesitates to use the chainsaw on her, and then he sees the necklace, right? So he's like, okay, I'll just bury her. He ends up decapitating her instead.
Yeah.
In a wild day.
Yun yung scene
Wild day.
Yun yung scene na sa real chainsaw. So
Yeah,
parang
mismo.
they were, so even the actress, if you rewind, parang you can see her like breathing and being a bit
Pumapalag.
medyo kabado.
Dude, that chainsaw was so close to her.
Yeah. Yep.
Scary.
Yeah.
It's so scary.
Parang college talaga. Buwis-buhay talaga.
Super.
Yeah, dude.
And there was this one scene that stood out to me because that time where he's pretending to sleep and then she sees the box. I found it so stupid, that whole exchange of
The close-ups of the eyes. The close-up of the eyes, yeah.
I found it so stupid.
Yep.
But then they call back. They call it back at the end. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
He ties it together. They use it again. I thought it was a useless comedic scene. Tas biglang, okay, all right. Yeah. But that was so funny. I was like, wow, this is such a stupid scene. Oh, open eyes. Oh, la, la. I enjoyed it. It's so dumb.
So for everyone listening, Miguel watched this at double the speed or something.
No naman, like
Didn't you?
1.5.
Or you said,
yeah.
wow, what a big difference. Thanks for the correction.
But it kind of becomes fun. It actually works because it becomes funny. At that. Yeah. Parang naging kenkoy na even how they move. Actually, yeah. So when I was doing that, because I was trying to make it less scary, but when I realized it wasn't super scary, I kind of went back to normal speed. And parang for me, I said moving this a bit faster actually worked better.
and to jump back to like gender sensitivities and all that.
Yes, please.
It's funny that they made Ash the damsel in distress. Like, diba, parang
Oh, yes, you're absolutely right.
is like going against usual tropes where like it's a woman that survives or whatever. Like they made
final
You're absolutely right. Yeah. He was the final boy.
Yeah. So cool, diba? So parang except the time, like you mentioned Halloween and they bank on Jamie Lee Curtis and whoever na pa. Kasi ito parang sige, let's bank on Bruce Campbell to carry the film.
Yeah.
So,
See, Bruce Campbell, most of his career, I'm sure he's appeared in other stuff, but it's mostly defined by his involvement.
Absolutely,
with
yes.
this
Oh, no doubt.
I'm okay with that. If I were an actor and parang
Yan yung legacy mo.
my career, my legacy and career defining role,
Dude.
I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna
Ash.
be
I mean, he got 3 movies and 3 seasons of a show out of this.
Yeah.
No doubt, man.
Yeah.
And he's a cult hero, man. Like he
Cult
shows
hero,
up at Comic Con,
absolutely.
he's the man.
So that's great.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I was telling the guys
the
nga
sequels kasi
he was
parang
my crush for a while, and then I saw him now.
why?
Aaron, it's called aging. It happens.
Yeah, but look at Harrison Ford. I mean, come on, you can age fine.
Not everyone is Harrison Ford.
Get off
That's
my
true.
plane.
Get off my
I don't know. I
plane.
quoted Air Force One of all Harrison Ford.
He's still good looking, Aaron. He's like a salt and pepper dude. Like,
Oh my! Did you not see what I
Actually,
sent on Telegram?
Aaron, you sent like the worst photos ever. Like he was like, extremely overweight. Watch this show. The show came out just like 3 years ago.
Which one?
He looks pretty good.
What show?
Yeah.
Evil Dead.
Oh,
3 seasons of Evil Dead.
So it's him.
You know what?
Pare.
I haven't. You know what? I haven't even seen it.
Yes.
I haven't seen it.
Yes, it's him.
Sadly,
Enzo, I
sadly.
think you love it, dude. I think you love it. It's basically Evil Dead 2, the show.
Holy cow! Sounds fun.
I see the photo you sent, Aaron. Like, if he was wearing a shirt, okay naman eh. Samahan niyo.
Anyway. Enzo, is this your first? Is this your favorite Raimi film?
Oh snap! No. It would probably be Army of Darkness. Yeah, Army of Darkness.
Ah, shit! Nice.
I want to get to
Absolutely.
that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, super fun. Really rewarding if you watch everything in order.
Okay, I will.
I mean,
I think you guys would
because
absolutely.
Army
love
of Darkness is like hands down the most quotable one, diba? I'm
Yeah,
Boomstick,
yes, of course. Boomstick.
Shop Smart, Shop S Smart, diba? Mga ganyan.
Yeah.
Diba? So Army of Darkness, hands down. Yeah, like I said. Yeah, parang what's so amazing about Raimi is that guys like Edgar Wright and all these other directors quote him as parang
Influences.
Yeah, I want to say influence, but also like he's the type of guy who'll motivate, like not motivate, like what's the word? Like he'll make us believe that we can make films. You know what I mean? So parang,
Sure, yeah.
dude, like this guy was shooting with his buddies, man. Like he made his best friend like a leading man.
Yeah, exactly.
Parang, dude,
Exactly.
we gotta go shoot. Like same, like very similar to like Quentin. Diba? Parang,
Yeah.
like a video store employee that just watched films, obsessed with films, and made
Obsessed
diba?
with
So
films,
parang,
made his own.
yun eh. Diba? When you read stories like that, and you're like, shit, like, what am I doing?
Yeah, like that could be
Yeah,
me.
why am I not making a film yet? Diba? So parang,
Yeah.
so, yun.
Inspiration. He's the guy
Yeah.
that makes
Yeah,
you
dude.
ask, oh, what's your
Absolutely.
excuse?
Yeah,
Look what
exactly.
we did. Look at this.
Exactly.
Exactly. Na parang, diba? I
Precisely.
mean, yun nga, parang you're not gonna look at him as like a Kubrick that has all these like 1-point perspective shots, and diba, parang he's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or
Exactly.
a Wong Kar-wai na parang tayo na ganda every frame, diba? Parang, ganun. Pero,
Yep.
like he's the guy who'll be like, fucking get off your ass, shoot a film now, diba? Parang tayo na, diba?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sige.
He can be really sloppy, but like man, you gotta respect it. Like, he's hit or miss, but he swings every time. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
it, man.
yeah.
That's it. Exactly.
He makes
exactly.
me feel like I can make a movie. Ganon. Parang, oh,
Do it.
I can.
And you can.
You
I
can.
do that.
Absolutely.
I mean, a big part is writing, right? Diba? So, diba? So I'm gonna claim it pala now and make it public that Chris is helping. We're gonna write the film. So
Yeah, we're gonna make it happen. Oh, you guys think we're joking? We're actually not joking.
I don't
man.
think we're
We've been
joking.
talking about
let's
it.
go.
already.
Let's go.
I believe you guys.
It's a horror heist. Which is naging horror.
Love it. And it's gonna be made with wheelchair dollies.
Just keep it us there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah, like Raimi, it's fun to talk about Raimi because he's such a. I mean, even though his style is so recognizable, like he will do so many different genres. Like he's God, Miguel. What's that baseball film that we love?
Field of Dreams. What's wrong with you?
No, he did another one. It's with Costner for the love of the game.
Oh,
Yeah.
What?
Love of the game.
Dude,
That's Raimi.
yeah, dude.
Yep.
All right.
He's
Weird,
so
diba?
good.
Weird eh.
He's done a western.
Yeah.
What do you call this? Quick and the Dead.
Angas eh. Yeah.
He's done superhero movies. Like he can do anything, but every time he makes a film, you know that it was him that made it.
Oh.
That's what I love about him.
Yeah, you look up to these guys, diba? Parang Soderbergh, Danny Boyle, diba? The guys that can do anything, horror, comedy,
Parang yeah, they'll
rom-com.
go knees deep or like into any genre and then make the most out of. Galing din eh.
Yeah, and he's
He also did The Gift.
Yeah, he also did The Gift, which is one of his misses, but I mean, like, it's still kind of, it's still, It's not
Like
bad.
it's funny because I've been part of the Facebook group, diba? The Dead Air Facebook group. And it's funny because I follow the story arc, Miguel's story arc, and he's like, I watched this, and he posted it at like, okay guys, watching now at 1 p.m. So it's good because that's exactly what I do. I can't watch like now. I'm kind of creeped out. Yeah, parang holy.
Pag nag-sunset na sarado na yung tindahan.
Hindi na pwede. But yun nga, parang to go back, that's sort of like the horror that I'm a fan of. Like, it's not to say I don't like Midsommar and those things, pero parang I like the campy stuff. The stuff that you know, it's fun. Di ba? Parang you go home and you're not in bed na parang may demonyo na ata dito.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's another reason why I like Raimi. Parang you can laugh it off afterwards. Di ba? Parang after the jump scares and the gore, it's like diba?
Have you seen the remake?
Yes, I have.
What did you think of that? Because that's like zero camp. That's
dude, it was
all horror.
Yun, yeah. So I was hoping that it would kind of be campy. Well, you know how you feel towards remakes. But you always have these set like boundaries or whatever, for lack of a better term. But I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was different. Like it was different from the original, obviously, but obviously called back to a lot of the scenes and all that. But it was fun. Yeah. Overall, it was fun.
What Aaron started the remake before realizing it wasn't the one we're talking about today.
Yeah.
What did you think of the first few minutes that you saw?
Yo, I love the intro. That was so intense. I was like, what's going on? I love you, baby. Do it. I love you, baby.
Do it.
Oh my God, what's happening? I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the 20 minutes that I saw. Then I was like, this isn't the one.
Oh, man, you got 20 minutes deep. Nice.
Yeah. It was good.
Are you going to watch it? Are you going to continue?
I think so. Because I like the actors. They're the actors from like teen movies and stuff. So I was like, okay, I'll watch this. I like this.
Mm-hmm.
And the lead girl is the one in Don't Breathe by the same director.
Yeah, you said.
Oh.
Yeah. Fede Alvarez.
What are the big horror films that you should watch out for this year?
This year? Oh, that's tough. My favorite horror film that I saw last year, but apparently it's technically for this year's release, is Saint Maud. That's a really, really good one. I think you guys...
Possessive? What is it? Like a possession thing?
No.
Stigmata?
It's hard to explain, but...
I just want to read it myself.
It's hard to... it's hard to explain without spoiling anything.
Yeah. Never mind.
Poster pa lang
Saint Maud. That's my pick for this year so far.
Ooh, I'm gonna look at
it. Ikaw, Chris, like ever since like horror was your thing, like
no, actually,
is that what made you get into film? Or
no. What I really love, I think the first movie like I really really fell in love with. I was like, hey, maybe filmmaking could be a thing. Is Leon the Professional?
Holy cow! Young Natalie Portman and what's his name? The French dude.
Yeah, Jean Reno. I saw it because like right when I was getting into film class in Ateneo. It was one of the first few. No, we weren't blockmates with Quark. But like it was one of the first few films I had seen before during that time when I was in film class, and I was like, wow, I really love this. Like
Gary Oldman.
Yeah, exactly. And then but horror, I think it came much later, and then. Like I had seen a lot of horror films as a kid, but I think I really developed a love for it. I think maybe way after college. No.
Okay. Yeah. What about you, Aaron? What got you into horror?
Me? I watched it at like 5 years old or 3 years old or something like that, and I got so scared. But I liked it. Yeah, Betamax.
Did you like the new It?
I did, but not the second.
Sobrang trip ko siya.
I like the new one.
The second.
But I
that was
I did compare the scene of Beverly's bathroom. I liked the scene in the first one more because I felt like it was exaggerated in this version, where the blood was just everywhere. I was like, it's not that scary. The first one really freaked me out. But otherwise, I really liked also the way that this Skarsgård guy played Pennywise. Freaked me out.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. Yeah,
No doubt. Yep,
so
yep,
good.
yep.
really good.
So good.
Sorry, I went on a Sam Raimi like deep dive. He acts
Yes.
he acts din pala eh, diba? So,
Yes, he does.
So he appeared in there's this movie I saw as a kid or I guess a teenager, a young na parang a group parang na siya drama romantic comedy about a bunch of friends who go back to their summer camp when they were young. It's called Indian Summer, and then Sam Raimi's in this. Like,
What?
yeah, I remember
I
watching this
think
on a
I've
laser.
seen that.
I remember
Yeah.
watching this on a laser disc pa.
I love the cabin in the woods trope.
Yeah, but this is like
Parang-
so wait, so here they're in this movie Indian Summer, they're in Camp Tamakwa, which I think had a poster in the cabin in the woods in one of the scenes. Parang ganyan. Damn.
Actually, I messaged
Pero
the
hindi
group
to-
because
pero hindi to
when I
horror
saw
at all.
the
Yeah.
first scene of this one of Evil Dead, I texted the group, diba? I was like, did Cabin in the Woods do an homage to this? Because this scene is like the exact
Yeah,
same
almost
scene.
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Opening
mismo.
the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly the same.
That
Cool,
was
cool.
fun. That was a fun movie. Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
What else did you find out about Sam Raimi, Miguel?
No, that's it. I just interesting lang this whole movie.
Ikaw, Mig, I didn't ask you, but
Yeah, sorry.
what was
Yeah,
your?
sorry.
When did you start?
Watching horror for this
yeah,
podcast.
For
No,
real.
but when I was but when I was a kid, I saw the like there were like two movies that are imprinted in my mind because I saw them really young. It was Chucky,
Holy
but I don't
shit, yeah.
remember seeing all of it, just parts of it, like just the iconic scene. And the original Pet Cemetery. So that was the one that freaked me out.
Ooh.
Mga ano
Yeah.
pa yan eh, parang Holy Week, tapos bawal manood ng horror,
Bawal talaga.
bawal mag-enjoy. Pero me and my cousins, we kind of snuck out and watched. And on a
Ten
Betamax.
Commandments lang pwede.
Yeah, yeah. So kaya medyo eerie pa kasi may halong religiosity pa yan.
Yun talaga. That's always my that's always so scary for me. Mga possession films. Eh. Those are always so because like I said earlier, like I grew up in a Christian home,
Yeah.
and then like me and my mom was super active in the church, and she'd talk about like possessions and whatnot. Like I remember there was one time I was playing an Incubus tape in the car, and then so we were listening to Drive. And then she was singing along. But this is a nice melody. Parang it's a nice melody. I'm like, oh, so who's singing? Who's singing this? And then my brother goes, it's Incubus. Take the tape out, burn it. And she was like, I was like, oh, so, parang,
So good.
Bakit? And then she spoke about like what seeing like interviewing,
Oh my God.
talking about Incubus talaga. So I was like, oh, diba? So parang putang ina, diba? Yeah, man. So those always freak me out, the mga possession films.
That's
Yeah,
your
I'm
weakness.
close to that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm close
Yeah.
to that. I grew up in a very religious household, but possession films I can kind of take. Like The Exorcist is really one of the scariest. But
Yeah.
like
Still so
for
scary.
me, if it's like a religious horror outside of possession, yeah, and that's what I can't take. That's why Saint Maud for me is like one of the
Saint Maud.
scariest.
Yeah, it looks like a religious.
Hindi ko na papanoorin yan.
It's like a religious.
Meg, don't even look
Yeah.
at the images because I just put Saint Maud. Oh, what are the images?
I'm Googling it now.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Don't.
I'm Googling it
Don't.
now. Would I regret it?
Yes, you
Ayoko na.
might.
Oh my God. Oh my. I'm just looking at the poster. Oh my God.
Diba?
I'm done,
Poster
I'm
pa
done.
lang, pare.
I'll just look at this tomorrow morning.
Exactly. But that's so funny
Reminds me of the
because
time na
Miguel, you grew
Go
up in
ahead.
a Christian household also. Does religious films scare
in
you
fact,
also?
I just remember. I don't know, because me and my brother we watched Stigmata when we were young, and we enjoyed it. So not so much. I remember this religious upbringing thing. I just realized, Enzo, na I'm really good friends with your cousins. Sila,
Yep.
Reyes,
Sila Carmen.
sila
Sila
Carmen.
yeah.
And because we went to Sunday school together. But anyway, so back to I think our mom didn't really have to make us. She didn't really have to police us when it came to watching horror religious films. Because parang me and my brother, we were scared of them naman talaga. It wasn't it wasn't our go-to genre. You know what I mean? Like, we would watch Sneakers. You would watch cartoon. I love
Too Many
Sneakers.
Secrets. Too Many Secrets.
Exactly. Yeah. We'd watch, anything but horror. So, but once in a while, we'll get a good horror film. We're like, parang, shit, that was so good. Like Stigmata, like Patricia Arquette.
Yeah.
Holy cow! Yeah.
I did
So
like
yun,
that.
I really get super nervous when it comes to possession movies or actually like those things.
Yun talaga.
Yeah,
pare.
medyo. Like yung Emily
Possession
Rose.
talaga. Holy shit!
That's a
Yeah,
good
dude.
one, though. That's a really good one.
That's
Until
so
now,
good.
that
Wow,
imagery
so
stays with
fucking
you.
Yeah,
The
man.
thing is, kasi
Yeah.
when I
She's
watch,
a really good actress.
Yeah.
She's also in.
she's in Dexter, but I really like. I
Dexter,
like
yes, she's in
Emily Rose.
And also the remake of Wreck called Quarantine.
Oh, I didn't know that. But what I was gonna say is, I didn't get so scared in Emily Rose because when I watched it, I remembered she's the girl in White Chicks. Diba?
In White Chicks.
Tina
Yeah,
the
White Chicks.
talking Tommy.
That's right.
So hindi ako natakot because I was like,
That's
oh,
right.
it's
That's
this
right. That's right. That's right.
That's exactly how this is why this is perfect for Enzo now. Like being a filmmaker, knowing how stuff works. Like how does that does it take you out of the story? Like for example, Aaron said that seeing Jennifer Carpenter, I think her name is, knowing who she is, knowing that she's an actress, that took her out of the story. And how about you as a filmmaker, knowing how stuff is done? Does that take you out of stuff like this?
So when I'm watching, for example, like let's say any horror film, I try to keep it in my mind. Na parang, okay, someone's holding a camera right there.
Mm-hmm.
There's an audio man holding a boom mic over this demon.
Over this demon.
and the dubbing of the blood is they're recording the blood splattering over, you know what I mean? So but then it sometimes, man, like it still doesn't work, man.
Yeah, it
You know what I mean? Like I'm still freaked out, man. So
Yeah, that's also how I get through it then. It's like yeah, so that blood is corn syrup plus food
corn
coloring
syrup.
plus water.
but like if you guys were to name like one like must watch, like if you're gonna start someone on like a horror diet, like which film would you guys suggest?
Is it The Shining for me? It might be The Shining.
Wait, what's the definition of horror diet? Like someone trying to get into it, or like if you
someone
just want
trying
to
to get
wow
into it.
someone?
No, someone trying to educate himself or herself in the horror genre. Like obviously there's subgenres, diba?
Yeah.
Like start with this film.
I think because I was asked by direct Carlo Ledesma about like when if my kid when I would let him start watching horror films, at what age and what film. I said Jaws siguro. So I think maybe that'd be because it's a good
Yes.
it's a good gateway drug to horror.
I mean, master storyteller, right? Like, why not?
Yeah, not so like in your face,
Mhm.
but like it gives you enough of a taste now. You probably want to experiment more afterwards.
Right. Like you
Reel them in, yeah.
Reel
You
them
hook
in, yeah.
Hook them and reel them in.
Pun intended, right?
Yeah. How about you guys? And then we'll end with Enzo. I want to hear Enzo's take on this. How about you guys?
If I'm going to make somebody watch a horror film, I want to freak them out right away. I want to be like, a horror.
Yeah, sure.
Watch this. Definitely going to be Ringo.
Yeah.
Definitely Ringo 100%.
Oh,
You won't sleep for days.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
here you go.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
probably that's
Very
it
nice.
for me.
Very nice.
All
Yeah.
right.
Miguel.
Yeah, I think I might circle back to The Shining. Well, it's well, first of all, it's really weird. So I kind of like that. It's
Dude,
really all those little vignettes of characters that come out
Mhm.
in the hotel. That's super weird, and it's a bit also of a slasher. They're running around with an
Mhm.
axe. There's also a bit of a possession because who is this person? Who is this? Bakit ganyan si Jack Nicholson bigla? So it has all of that, and then it's also really well made. They're isolated in this resort, and many strange things happen, and the twins are there. Okay na, parang complete package na for me yung The Shining. Parang pwede na.
the blowjob bear.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yes.
Yeah, dude, that
Yeah.
scene always creeps me out.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that scene, man.
Yeah.
That scene, talaga. Dude, if I could share like a quick story about the Ring.
Yes, please.
Dude, I remember I was in college and we was with a bunch of friends, and then someone told me, like, dude, you want to watch a Japanese film festival? You want to go to a Japanese film festival? It's like, oh, sure. Like, here I am, like a young film student. Diba? Parang, oh, Japanese, of course, let's go. Tangina, the Ring pala. Putang ina. Motherfucker, didn't tell me it was horror. Diba? Eh, diba, minsan pag film festival, parang gulo-gulo, walang posters, walang ano. No, so you just go in, diba?
Yeah. No idea.
And it is
Alam ko
really creepy.
Dude, yes.
Creepiest.
Then
Creepiest.
alala ko parang yung setup ng sala namin dati. Pagpasok mo sa bahay,
TV.
TV agad. So parang pagpasok ko ng sala, parang gumagana. Iwas ko yung TV. Ay, iniwas ko yung TV. Parang puta. Grabe.
Yeah, it's slightly similar. Hindi naman, I wasn't tricked into watching it, pero my friend was Ramon de Vera from Slate, of course.
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey, you like Stephen King, right? There's a Japanese horror film that's showing
Layo.
Cinemalaya.
Yeah.
You might like it." So I was like, "Oh, this sounds amazing." So I got my sisters. And then we were like, oh, it's like Ring. It says Ring 1, Ring 2, and Ring 0. So like, hey, why don't we watch all three, one after the other?
Damn.
Dude, I had no idea what I was in for.
Damn.
So the three of us, we watched all three movies straight, 6 hours.
Oh my God.
Dude.
Cinemalaya, Greenbelt 1. I still remember it.
But I like na how Ramon kind of hooked you pa with Stephen
Yeah, I
King.
know.
Eh.
Yeah.
When you think about it, walang kinalaman. Sa din. Was just plotting it from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Nakaka-traumatize talaga.
Yeah.
Super,
It's so
super.
intense.
What's your answer, Enzo?
Maybe Sixth Sense.
Oh!
Yeah. Because that's
Yeah.
that
Agreed.
Absolutely.
fucked me up, man.
Agreed.
What do you think of his other films?
Seeing Donnie Wahlberg like that,
yeah.
that messed me up, man. Like I was with the 80s kid style, no? Step by step. Anyway.
Whoa. We're gonna put this video on there.
I love it. What do you think of his other stuff? Because he's done a bunch in horror.
M. Night.
Yeah.
You know what? Yun nga eh, parang alam mo naman eh, you always expect the twist, diba? So
Yeah. That's the problem.
after a while, yeah, you kind of just not want to watch, diba? Pero
Yeah.
I like the shit. Why is it escaping me now?
Tell us
The
about
one
it.
with Sam Jackson and
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable.
Fucking
Yeah,
amazing.
so good.
That was so good.
When did you stop
Yeah.
not liking Shyamalan movies now? Which was the movie that said, fuck it, I'm never gonna watch a Shyamalan movie again?
I mean,
The one
you don't
with,
have to stop.
yeah.
Like-
Yeah, that's true.
Ako yata yung Girl in the
The
Water.
one, Joaquin Phoenix.
Leash.
That was
Science.
I liked
Signs.
it. Diba?
Yeah.
I liked it. Yeah, I liked it. But then after that, I was like, okay na yan. Pero yeah, like what Chris said, I kept watching pa rin.
Yeah, The Village.
Diba? You keep watching pa
Yeah.
rin. So
he's got a great recent horror film called The Visit. Very nice. No, I don't think
I
anyone's
haven't
seen it.
that.
Nope.
That was one of his
Visit.
because he disappeared for a while and everyone kind of
Yeah,
thought he was a
yeah.
joke. And then he
Yeah.
made a very, very small budget horror film called The Visit, which is really, really good.
Okay.
Yeah. So you gotta check it out.
Same.
Gotta check it out.
You guys might like that one.
I
But,
think I might even like Girl in the Water if he just didn't cast himself as the story.
Yeah. I hate that movie. I hate that movie so
I
much.
haven't seen
Yun talaga
it.
eh.
No,
Hindi lang
What?
as the story.
wait, it's
Hindi
good.
lang as the storyteller. Hindi lang as the story as the
save the
writer
world.
who will save the
Save
world.
the world.
Yun
Yeah.
talaga.
Wait, so, but
Yun
aside from
talaga.
that, Chris, okay siya, diba? Aside
Well,
from that little
I
thing.
mean that
na,
and Avatar, and I did
hindi ka
not
na
like The
pinanood yung
Village.
okay.
I didn't watch it also.
Yeah.
I like The Village
Village is
though.
Wahlberg, right? Is Village Wahlberg? Is that the one with Wahlberg?
No, it's with
Adrian Brody.
Brody
and
okay.
the girl from Jurassic Park. The daughter
Bryce
of Ron
Dallas.
Howard.
Ron Howard. Yeah.
Yes. The three names.
Yeah, I started my kids on Jurassic Park, man. They love Jurassic Park, which is kind of
absolutely. There are
right?
definitely big horror elements in Jurassic Park. Absolutely.
Yeah. So my son loved it. Yeah.
Awesome.
So I'll try Jaws next time.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, so Enzo is such a big film fan that he named his son after Marty McFly.
Oh, yeah. Marty, diba?
Okay. Kaya nga,
Back
Marty
to the Future.
McFly.
There you go.
I should galing.
There you go. Yeah.
What's the poster beside Back to the Future?
Beastie Boys.
Beastie Boys.
I got it.
Yeah. Awesome. What do you call this? So maybe we should kind of wrap up and go back to I think last words on last words on Evil Dead. But what I really want to hear about is more about the filmmaker aspect, Enzo, and like what you thought about Evil Dead being made on such a tiny budget, but you can really see like how much love was put into it, and you being a filmmaker as well. How if you can relate to that or not, or
yeah. So one of the biggest things about Evil Dead was that, obviously after you do your research, you find out that the reason he got the money, which wasn't a lot anyway, but the reason he got the money to shoot the full length was he made a short film, Within the Woods. So, I mean, it's not uncommon practice now, but it's something that more and more people do, like, parang Whiplash. So
Whiplash.
that's one of the more well documented examples of this. That Whiplash was made because the director made a short film first, and then it was like, hey, this is my proof of concept.
Yes.
So but it's so different. Yeah, like I said earlier, context matters. Sam Raimi made it on film. A film project back in the 70s, a short film to prove that he could make a full-length film. So, parang just to go back to a point I made earlier, parang it's one of those films that inspires you. To take Aaron's words, parang inspirational talaga. Parang I don't, you hardly quote horror films as inspirational, diba? Pero parang inspired talaga ako sa Evil Dead. Parang Not to say incantations or anything, but to this dude like bet on himself, and now he's in the Marvel universe. He's one of the most well-known directors. He's worth millions of dollars. Not that it's about the money, but
sometimes it is. But sometimes it is.
The money helps. The money helps.
It doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So parang I guess to end, parang super inspirational. Sam Raimi is one of those guys.
Yeah. Awesome. Totally agree with you. I know. Do you guys want to do last words on Evil Dead?
Let's do
Sure.
it.
I'm gonna go back to you again, Enzo, if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
Last words on Evil Dead. So we'll
Absolutely.
end with you.
Can I start?
Yes.
Can I start? Fine, you go.
Yes, I got it. I knew I had to beat you to it. As a latecomer to the Sam Raimi universe, and then just seeing Drag Me to Hell, which I super enjoyed. Parang I'm super happy to have seen one of his first full lengths, and then parang na even made that, like, even if the budgets were worlds apart, parang you could already see that passion, and that you could see the gears working in his head, and of how he can make a movie, how he can scare you, and at the same time make you laugh a little or giggle at your own fear. Parang it was good seeing the beginning of that and how he began. So I appreciated that little arc.
Awesome. Can I go, Aaron?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So go ahead. Okay. So for me, absolutely the same thing as Miguel. I mean, I'm a huge Sam Raimi fan. But for me, what I love about the fact that you chose Evil Dead, the first one, is because aside from the fact that as a movie, it's scary, it's funny, it's super duper entertaining. I love the story behind it more. Like I love these stories about early young filmmakers who just bet the farm on themselves,
Yeah.
like him or Kevin Smith,
Yes, sir.
or Robert Rodriguez, they exactly. They just found a way to make their films, and then they made it big. And I love those stories, and I love seeing how they started. The fact that Evil Dead is one of his first few films, and then now he's an incredible filmmaker. And then, but you can still see his stamp, as early as Evil Dead. You can immediately see that that's a Sam Raimi film. Watching his all his movies, even going backwards. So it's super fun seeing it that way. So I super enjoyed watching it again after I hadn't seen it in a while. So thanks for choosing Evil Dead, Enzo. Aaron, what do you think?
Yeah.
Last words.
Okay. So for me, what I really like, actually now it makes so much sense. I did no research. I'm the one who doesn't do research, and so I just watch the movie and then I just talk about it. So no research on my end. So now that you guys told me that this is his first film, it makes so much more sense to me. Because I'm like, oh yeah, like what I said earlier, the cameraman is just crawling on the floor, dragging the body. I was like, what's this? Wala nga ng gulong. I mean, I would have put wheels or something. And then even the prosthetics, I was like, ano to? Tapos may stop motion. Tapos, it was just a hodgepodge of so many things. And I even made a TikTok after watching Evil Dead na yung mga angles, mga angles ng camera, kung saan galing, like from up here, from the closet, and then it's what is this? What's going on? So now I enjoy it more knowing that it's his very first film. Because I was like, nice one, dude. That's your first. Good job. So that's mine.
Good job,
20
sir.
years old when he made the film.
Good job. Enzo, it is your turn.
Crazy. Enzo.
My turn. So Evil Dead, a combination of what you guys said. And it's just amazing lang to see the evolution of Sam Raimi. He's gone from a dude that had to stop shooting because he didn't have enough money to people literally just throwing millions and millions of dollars at him. And even if you aren't a filmmaker, it's a story that should inspire you and motivate you just to do what you do, man. Like to use Chris's words, bet the farm, man. Like bet on yourself, diba? So nagiging motivational speaker na eh. No, parang hindi. No, very seriously. Parang just to close on Evil Dead. Parang ang lakas lang eh. Parang you can tell na he just enjoyed horror. He enjoyed having fun, and that's how the progression of his filmography went. Diba? Parang Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, just poking fun at everything, and then it's amazing. Yeah. So and thank you for letting me talk about it for an hour.
Dude, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for suggesting this movie. I would have never seen it.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the best parts of this podcast is people suggesting films that Aaron and Miguel haven't seen because it's so much fun to listen to their reactions.
On the group,
our live texting our group. On the group chat. Parang, ito ano nangyayari? Ba't siya rape ng mga puno? Parang yun.
Oh, siya, no? God.
Medyo dark.
But yeah. So, dude, again, thank you so much for coming on.
No, thank you.
Such an honor. Is there any...
thank you, Enzo.
Dude, would you like to plug anything before you head up?
Yeah, Buhay Basket. Check us out on Instagram and on YouTube. So that's youtube.com/buhaybasketph. And on Instagram, that's @buhaybasket. We promise it's not horror unless you take our basketball takes as horror. So I appreciate you guys. I love that you guys are opening people's eyes when it comes to horror, and I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you for having me on the show.
Dude, thank you so much for coming on.
I'll see you around, dude. I know that not dude,
literally around.
I can hear you now.
Baka dumano ko para sa patis or asin or something.
Dan ka lang. May bagnet dito.
All right.
Awesome.
Take care, man.
Awesome.
And let me know when we're doing the Army of Darkness ep. I'm down.
Yeah.
do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's all yours. All yours.
Naka-reserve na.
Okay. Thank you,
Alright,
dude.
guys.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Thank you so much, Enzo. And for all the listeners, we hope you enjoyed today's episode and tune in to next week's episode as well. Follow us on all our social media. And I hope you enjoyed. So take care, everyone.
Sakto pero hate
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Brought to you by Big Baby Studios.